Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is an introduction to Music 1300. I am your host for the entirety of the semester. My name is Professor George. You will be seeing a lot of my pre-recorded face for the next 16 weeks. I'll give you a little bit of background about me and we'll go through the syllabus together, just so you've got a good grasp on what we're trying to do this term. So I recently finished my doctoral degree. I'm a composer and a conductor, and I've been a teacher for, oh gosh, probably about the last 15 years or so. Certainly the last 10 years at Brooklyn College. So I've been there for a while now. I'm very passionate about music, and I like knowing how to get people to engage with music a little bit more deeply. And that's basically the aim of this course, is to leave you with a set of tools at the end of the semester that give you better vocabulary, better means to describe the music that you will listen to for the remainder of your life. And unfortunately, or fortunately, well, there are some advantages and disadvantages to doing this as an online style. First off, I'm sure it's absolutely safer at this juncture. Not to mention the course is slightly flexible in terms of its pacing, which is always lovely. However, not getting to interact with me in person, it makes some of the topics a little bit harder to grasp. So I encourage you, especially in the first unit, if you find things a little bit difficult, to go back and rewatch some elements and re-engage with the listening examples that I embed in all of my different videos. To help kind of bridge the gap between, doing studies, remotely at home, I have prepared for each of my lectures a page of lecture notes. They're great documents for you to review after and during my lecture videos. So the lecture topics, the pacing of the course, it's generally for you to watch one lecture and then participate in a major assessment, like turning in a paper or taking an exam during the week, or watching 2 lecture topics. In a typical semester, we would meet 2 times a week for an hour and 15 minutes, 75 minutes. So the pre-recorded lectures really do aim to get to that time point as closely as possible. Sometimes I'm over, sometimes I'm under. On the days or on the weeks that we have quizzes and assignments due, you're only watching 1 lecture as well. So I really tried to make everything as evenly spaced out as possible over the course of the term. So rather than talk about things, I guess, piecemeal and in the abstract, let me go ahead and pull up my syllabus, which I poured over for us to go through together, because that is indeed what we would do day 1. So like I went through a different kind of course description, but this is mostly a survey class that involves a lot of listening. And we go through our listening through the different elements of music, rhythm and meter, pitch and harmony, form, timbre, and dynamics. I want you to gain a greater understanding of the perception of music as a product of its culture, its revolutions, its developments, mainly through a survey of critical listening. Critical listening, that's all embedded in lecture that I've been thinking about for the entirety of my studies. Course objectives, again, aside from giving you a better vocabulary to describe one of the more elusive art forms, we're going to, of course, talk about the historic, social, and cultural context, such as the role of ethnicity, gender, etc., in the creation of music. Talk about the influence of technology, mass media, globalization, transnational currents on the music of today. And all of that is interwoven in our identification of particular music traditions. most concerning for you probably at the moment is how this class is being taught. So like I said, this is an online class. It's asynchronous in style, which usually consists of watching 2 lecture topics in a week, or watching a lecture topic and then participating in a class activity such as a quiz or discussion board. Like any class, there are also homework assignments that are largely based on the readings that are assigned to supplement the lectures that I give. You should plan on accessing Blackboard at least once a week to engage in the fall term, and honestly, more than that. You should have these links saved to the videos, but there's at least one due date a week for the most part, sometimes 2. Occasionally there's no due dates, but I do need you to regularly be on Blackboard. So email, that's the other method of communication. This is the email address for which you should get in touch with me. If you were to reply to the emails that I send you through Blackboard, they don't get to me immediately. They get to me days later. So, and just like anyone else, please be sure to be courteous and at least wait 24 hours for a response from me. And I don't always get to my email over the weekend. So just be mindful of that. If it's an emergency, whatever it might be, just because it's an emergency on your end doesn't mean it's an emergency on my end. And there's not a lot of class emergencies. The big thing, perhaps, notwithstanding, is the very end of the course, which is important, but should be in touch with me before that point. In any case, all the texts and resources for the course are online. They're free for you to use. And regarding attendance, I don't take attendance, but I do look to see if you've logged in regularly on Blackboard. If you fall behind on stuff, you've got to be proactive and get in touch with me via email. That's the best way. I will send you regularly things through Blackboard. If I'm missing assignments from you, etc., that's how you're going to hear from me. Academic integrity is particularly important for me in this course. If you are caught violating the academic code, you will be removed from the class. All of the assignments go through a plagiarism scanner on Blackboard. So they scan for my previous assignments that have been turned in for my class. They scan for online document, like pretty much everything. So I implore you to do your own original work for the term. I will quickly cover grading, and then we'll go over to the actual schedule. Everything's weighted equally in my grade book. There are 575 points possible that are kind of equally distributed through these different categories. There's quizzes, homework assignments, discussion boards, a concert report, and a final exam. That's it. The quizzes, those are meant, oh, there's a typo here. Sorry, all quizzes are not distributed in person. I'll change that. Those are all online via Blackboard. They're based on the reading material and lecture materials, though, most certainly, and they're around 30 points each. Discussion board assignments are low stakes. The first one, though, is particularly important. It's how I verify that you're actually enrolled and engaged in my class. So that one's due next Monday. Please be sure to do that. Final exam due on Wednesday, December 15th. It's already up and online, although I did say it would be made available in December. I just don't want you to take it before you're done watching all the lectures for my class. Although if you finish your course materials early, you're welcome to take the final exam early as well. Concert report due on Monday, December 13th. That assignment is also made available to you, but you shouldn't try to attempt it until you're in the final unit for the class. So after we return for Thanksgiving break. The assignment guidelines are already on Blackboard, though. Unit assignments are all based on the reading. And I cannot stress to you enough, it's a 1-page minimum on these assignments. 1-page single spaced. All of the guidelines are very succinctly laid out on Blackboard on the actual assignment itself. The best way to ensure that you're going to get full credit is don't waste space and make sure to proofread and also meet the page minimum. 1-page single spaced. I know single spaced, you don't do it very often. I don't care. I'm not writing comments in the margin. I'm giving you comments via the comment box on Blackboard. So I don't want them double spaced. I want them single spaced. Beyond that, I want a full page. So that means like multiple paragraphs. Should represent scholarly writing, an academic tone, a position as a writer. The only other really big thing that I have you do writing wise is a concert report. But there's it's no longer than any of these assignments. So I do smaller assignments that are all equally spread out through the semester, trying to make sure that you all don't stress too much as students. But they should still be taken seriously. They're 40 points each. There's 5 of them, 200 points for the duration of the semester. The last thing that I want to go over in my syllabus before toggling over to my actual lecture and assessment schedule is this one. The absolute last day to turn in anything for the course is Monday, December 13th at 11:30 p.m. If you have any late and outstanding work, it will be docked points if you do not get in touch with me ahead of time. But if you want it even considered in my grade book, that's the final drop dead deadline. Below here is our just like basic topics that we cover. However, I've got a different, more comprehensive document that outlines our course a little bit better. So let me go ahead and pull that up and share it with you. Bam, here we go. So here's our class schedule. The due date for everything online is always 11:30 p.m. Discussion boards are always due on Monday. Quizzes are always due on Wednesday, and assignments are also due on Wednesdays. So there's hopefully a sense of regularity to the course. Here are all of the pre-recorded topics. They have listed by the side how long they are. Most of them, I really did aim 75 minutes. Number of them come in around 75 minutes. Some of them are more, some of them are considerably less. Some of them, like this one, is spread out over 2 lectures. This one is spread out over 2 lectures because it's so long. So you should take a look at this. It outlines everything that we're doing. Things that are due in the course, assessments are in red. Notice that discussion boards, again, always due on Mondays. And the quizzes, the exams on the units, and the assignments are always due on the same day. So, there are some weeks like here that you're watching 2 lectures, other weeks that you're watching a lecture. This is like a bigger week, watching a lecture, participating in the discussion board, and then on Wednesday, taking an exam and making sure that you have your assignment in. So whenever there's an assignment or an exam, there's not a lecture scheduled on that day. So, but this outlines everything quite clearly. It's in Blackboard for you to meditate on if you wish. It is my grand desire that you get an A in my class. Nothing would make me happier if you get an A in this class. Please do so honorably, though. Don't cheat. Please actually watch all of my lectures. That's the big part of the whole course. There are so many, I don't know about so many students, but there have been a number of students that have tried the quick way around the course and not watched my lectures. That's why I give you quizzes. They're to ensure that you watch my lectures. They're way harder to pass if you don't watch my actual lectures. Beyond that, I try to make them fun and interesting and engaging, and about topics that I hope you might be interested in. They certainly interest me. But in any case, I hope that you're excited about the layout of this class, that it's a slow and steady wins the race kind of setup. There is a final exam at the end and a sort of like final paper, but again, if you do well throughout the entirety of the class, make sure to present quality assignments. I have no doubt that you will do incredibly well. So if you need to get in touch with me, you can do so via email. Again, my syllabus has my email address. Please reference it there. Don't just reply to what I post on Blackboard, because it doesn't get to me directly. And yes, have a wonderful start to the fall term. I will see you for the next lecture shortly. Goodbye for now.